So, what if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about discipline is wrong? It's not about forcing yourself through sheer willpower. Nope. It's about understanding how your brain is wired and then using that knowledge to trick it into working for you, not against you. I mean, come on. We've all been there, right? You've got a goal, you know exactly what you need to do, but you just don't. And then that familiar feeling sinks in, that wave of guilt, and you're left thinking, oh, what is wrong with me? But here's the thought. What if the problem isn't a lack of willpower? What if you're fighting a battle against your own biology and you don't even know it? The real issue might not be some personal weakness. It could just be a fundamental mismatch with your brain's ancient wiring. To really get how to build discipline, we first gotta bust the myth of what we think it is. So, on the one hand, we have the common belief that a lack of discipline is a character flaw, something to be ashamed of. But the biological truth, it's way different. It's just a design conflict. Our modern world demands all this long-term focus, but our brains, they evolved for short-term survival. You're not weak. You're just running on an old operating system. So what exactly is this ancient programming, and why does it cause so much trouble for us in the modern world? Well, for millions of years, our brains were optimized for one main thing: immediate survival. And a huge part of that was conserving energy. So your brain doesn't actually want you to go to the gym. It wants you on the couch, saving calories. It doesn't want you to study. It wants you to scroll social media because the dopamine hit is way faster and easier. You see, this isn't a defect. It's a feature. It's just a feature that isn't always helpful anymore. And this brings us to a key idea from neuroscience: cognitive ease. It's a simple, subconscious rule your brain always follows. When it's faced with two options, it will almost always pick the one that takes less effort. It's not a rational choice. It's an automatic energy-saving instinct. This is exactly why fighting your brain head-on is a losing battle. You know, as James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, puts it, if you're constantly relying on motivation and willpower, you're gonna lose. The real key isn't to try harder, it's to design smarter. And this is our first huge solution. Stop focusing on willpower and start focusing on designing your environment. Here's the thing. You have to remember self-control is a finite resource. It's like a battery. You can't rely on it to last all day if your environment is constantly draining it. The real battle for discipline is won or lost long before the moment of decision even shows up. Let's make this really practical. Take a look at this. In the before scenario, the book is hidden in a drawer and the phone's right there on the nightstand. That makes reading a high-friction activity. Now look at the after column. The book is right on your pillow and the phone's in another room. Boom, low friction. You're engineering the situation so that the right choice is now the easiest choice. Okay, so we've covered the where, our environment. Now let's dive into the how, the specific steps to actually build the habits we want. And this right here is another massive mindset shift. Procrastination isn't you being lazy. Think of it as a warning light on your dashboard. It's your brain telling you that the habit you're trying to build is poorly designed. It's too hard or too unattractive or not rewarding enough. Luckily, James Clear gives us an incredible, simple framework for this. The 4 laws of behavior change. Is the cue for your habit obvious? Is the habit itself attractive? Is it ridiculously easy to do? And finally, is it immediately satisfying? If you can check all 4 of those boxes, you've designed a habit that your brain will actually want to do. But what about those days when you just don't feel like it, right? Well, this next part tackles the myth that you have to be passionate and motivated every single day to get things done. Relying on motivation is like trying to sail a ship with an unpredictable wind. Some days it's strong, but most days, not so much. Relying on systems is like having an engine. It's automatic, it's consistent, and it works even on the bad days. The most disciplined people don't have more motivation, they just have better systems. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your success isn't really determined by your big ambitions, but by your small, daily, automated habits. And now we get to the final and I think the most powerful piece of this whole puzzle. This goes way beyond your environment and your habits, right to the very core of who you are. True, lasting change doesn't come from forcing yourself to do new things. It comes from changing how you see yourself. The goal isn't just to read a book. It's to become a reader. The goal isn't just to run a marathon. It's to become a runner. I want you to think of it this way. Every single action you take, no matter how small it seems, is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So when you study for just 5 minutes instead of scrolling, you're casting a vote for I am a disciplined person. Over time, these little votes accumulate, and they build the evidence for your new identity. So I'll leave you with this question. After everything we've just talked about, don't just think about it, act on it. What is the very first, smallest habit that you are going to redesign using these principles? I'd love to see what you come up with, because the simple act of writing it down, well, that's the first vote you cast for your new identity.